Hello guys, welcome back. So today we will have again some very good problems from the Allen All India Test Series. So I had posted a poll and I guess I got some reviews like I should bring in more problems from other sources. Although I didn't get many votes, but still, if you guys haven't voted still, please go and vote so I can understand what you want. And you can also write down in the comment section always. Anyways, here is the first question for today, and this is a matrix match type. So basically, it's 4 questions. So I would like you guys to try it out once and then come back to see the solution. So I will wait for a few seconds. Okay, so I'm starting off. So basically, we will go on solving part by part. So for the first part of the question, here we will have basically tan of 2 pi mod sine theta equals to cot of 2 pi mod cos theta, and fx is given as our mod of sine theta plus mod of cos theta whole part x. So we need to find out the value of this thing, limit x tends to infinity and whatever. So let's try to get something from here. So what I will do is I will write this as tan of 2 pi mod sine theta, and let's write this as pi by 2. Okay, not pi by 2, I will write it inside this thing. This is tan of pi by 2 minus 2 pi mod cos theta. So basically now if we compare these two equations, we will have 2 pi times, and bring this cos theta to the left hand side. What we will have is 2 pi times mod sine theta plus mod cos theta is equals to pi by 2. So basically from there what we can infer is mod of sine theta plus mod of cos theta. This is equivalent to your n by 2 plus of 1 by 4, right? I guess this was pretty obvious. So if we look into this thing, we have to like ascertain the value of n, proper value. So let's try finding out the range. This thing will range somewhat, I guess, not exactly, I should not say range, I should say maximum and minimum values. Yeah, that would be a better term, because that actually sounds a little bit different with respect to the question. So better to say maximum, and I will say maximum and minimum value enclosed. Yeah, something like that. So if we take this thing to be f of theta, this thing will become 1 less than equal to f of theta less than equal to root 2. Root 2 when both theta are pi by 4, and 1 for anyone is theta as pi by 2, and 1 for basically both pi by 2. Yeah. So now we can put this thing in place of f of theta. So n by 2 plus 1 by 4 less than equals root 2. Now if we do a little bit of multiplication and taking this 1 by 4 to both sides, this thing will become 3 by 4 less than equals n by 2 less than equals root 2 minus 1 by 4. So if we divide now, I guess what we will have is 3 by 2 less than equal to n less than equal to 4 root 2 minus 1 by 2. The final result. This is 1, 4 root 2 minus 1 by 2. So now 3 by 2 is 1.5. And let's calculate this thing. 4 into 1.4 minus 1 by 2 approximately. So this thing is 5.6 minus 1 is 4.6 by 2. So 2.3, approximately 2.3. So the only integer between these is n equal to 2. That's our value for n. So I will change the page once. So we have to find out limit x tends to infinity, greatest integer function of 2 by f of x. So we have n equals to 2, and please guys note this was x, okay? Please don't confuse between my n and x. So what we will finally do is, let's put this thing n equal to 2. If we put here, this thing will come out to be your like 2 by 2 plus 1 by 4. So 5 by 4. So basically in place of this thing here, we put 5 by 4. So I will change the page and write. So basically our f of x is 5 by 4 powered x. Now let's take that limit expression to be some g of x, which was given to be our limit x is tending to infinity, greatest integer function of 2 times 4 by 5 power x. Now as there is no like sort of anomaly here, and if we notice the graph also, it is a power x where a is less than 1. So basically if x tends to infinity, this thing is tending to 0. That's the answer for the first part. I will match all the parts at last, okay? I'm not matching it right now. I will match all the parts at the last after solving. So let's move on to the next part, or rather the next option, which is our option Q. And now option Q, no need to see, I have it ready. It's tan squared alpha plus cot squared alpha. And I guess this was limit n tends to infinity, or rather x tends to infinity, sorry, x. This is root under, okay, I will check once, just a minute. Yeah, it was x. X squared plus 8x plus 3 minus, this is whole root, and minus of root under x square plus 4x plus 2. So now this is pretty simple stuff, I guess. If we try to solve this, limit x tends to infinity. Just a minute. Okay guys, I forgot to you should also correct this. I forgot to correct this. Actually, there is a mistake in this part of the question. Otherwise, the answer will not match at all, right? Here in option number 2, you guys can correct this, where you can see tan square plus cot square alpha equal to limit x tends to infinity, and in this expression, this middle minus, this is not minus, this is actually plus. Okay. Otherwise, when we'll actually evaluate this expression, this will come out to 0. So the question has no meaning left. This is actually plus. And now if we evaluate this expression of the limit, this will come out to be 2. I don't know why this is written as minus, but I guess this is not correct. Otherwise, your answer key is also not matching. Okay. This thing is plus. Anyways, let's move on to the question. So if we write this tan squared alpha, and let's say this is 1 by tan squared alpha, this comes out to be 2. So pretty obviously alpha is plus minus pi by 4. No questions about that, right? Otherwise it's not possible. So we were asked the value of half of tan alpha plus cot alpha, which is in either way you take, it will be plus or minus 1 if you take plus minus pi by 4. So that's it for this question, pretty simple. Now if I move on to the next part, here actually I will tell you guys this thing is mod of 2 plus 5 mod n mod sin x equivalent to 2 plus this, if we open this box function, it will become 5 mod n mod sin x. Now this is pretty simple, and also if you haven't watched my previous videos, or if you have watched, then you will see I have solved this question in details. Okay, this same ditto same question I have solved it out in details, and I have also found out the answer. So what I will do is I will, you can right now go to the description of my video, and there you will see that I have attached the link of this particular video where I had solved this, and also I have put the timestamp so that you don't have to find. I have put the timestamp in seconds so that you can easily find it out. So you can go to that time and see it, because I'm not wasting time solving another question once again. Okay. And I will also tell you the answer for this, just a minute. So as per what I had calculated, I guess this in the question it was written 19 points of differentiability, as much as I can remember. Anyways, you can go to the description and check it out. And from here, this thing actually becomes mod n equals to 1. This is what you will get. And we have to find out 2 mod n. So this thing becomes 2. Right? This will correspond with s as far as I remember in this question. So anyways, you can go on to that video and check it out. This is pretty simple actually, nothing complex, no separate sort of explanation required, and because I've already solved it out, so I'm not wasting time on an already solved question. So let's move on to part S, and I have attached the link for this in the description, okay, with the timestamp. So in the next part we had two equations given: cos inverse x plus sine inverse y squared equal to, I guess, n pi squared by 4, and sine inverse y squared minus cos inverse x given as pi squared by 16. Now this question is given in such an easy form that it is pretty evident that we have to add these two equations, like anybody can tell. So from here, if we add on these two equations, we will get 2 sine inverse y square as n pi square by 4 plus pi square by 16. So I guess this thing comes out to be your 4n plus 1 times pi squared by 16. So your sine inverse y square comes out to be 4n plus 1 pi squared by 32. That's it. So now what we can do is we can actually find out, like, satisfy this particular thing. This thing 0 less than equal, this thing will actually write between 4n plus 1 pi squared by 32 is the quantity, right? And this will, I guess, lie in between 0, and because this is squared up, so pi square by 4. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, this will come out to be your pi squared by 4. Basically, because sine inverse y is this, actually if it was only sine inverse y, this would have been minus pi by 2 and plus pi by 2, but because it is squared, so 0 and pi squared by 4. And now if you manipulate this thing, this will actually come out to be your pi square in 0, it gets cancelled everything, so minus 1 by 4 less than equal to our only n, and from here pi square cancelled, 4 and 8 will give 8, so 4n plus 1 less than equal to 8, and I guess 4n less than equal to 7, so 7 by 4. Yeah. And now in a very similar way, if you subtract these two equations, right? I will maybe give an arrow. Minus here means subtract. I'll give an arrow and show. If you subtract these two equations, then you will actually get cos inverse x, rather 2 times cos inverse x, as your 4n minus 1 times pi squared by 16. So your cos inverse x, it comes out to be 4n minus 1 pi squared by 32. Now yet again from here, what you can see is now we can enclose this between minus 1 and 1. So then let's do that. So enclosing this expression between minus 1 and 1, sorry, not minus 1 and 1, I'm sorry, minus pi by 2 and pi by 2. My bad. So this is what becomes like something like this. And now I guess, okay, and I guess it was for positive intervals, right? So we will not have actually minus pi by 2, only 0. It was for positive intervals only, mentioned in the question. So this becomes 1 by 4 as usual, no difference, and less than equal to n. And this thing, if you calculate 2 and 16, so 4n minus 1 and pi will 1 pi will get cancelled. So 4n minus 1 by pi equals to 16, and 4n minus 1 will be 16 by pi. So this thing will basically become 8 by pi plus 1. So now if we try to take these two things common, let's say we draw a number line roughly. This is minus 1 by 4. What is 8 pi? 8 by pi plus 1, if we try to ascertain, 22 by 7. So 56 by 22. 56 by 22 plus 1. This is 2 point something plus 1. So 3 point something. Let's see. So minus 1 by 4. After that 1 by 4. 7 by 4 is, I guess, 1 point something, right? This is 0.25. So 7 by 4 here. And this thing becomes 8 by pi plus 1. So first 10 is lying here in between 1 by 4 to 8 by pi plus 1. And here it's lying between minus 1 by 4 to 7 by 4. So this is the common region. Basically 0.25 and 1 point, what is this? 7 by 4, right? So 1.75. So between these two there is only one integer. So our n becomes equal to 1. That's it. And let's look if they have given any further questions. I don't remember properly. Okay, so they had not asked anything extra to us. Only what they wanted to know was the value of n for this system to be consistent. So yeah, I guess n, the value of n will be 1. So if we now try to somewhat match, 1 comes out to be, I guess, p, which is 0. 2 comes out to be, I guess, q, which is 1. Okay, yeah, 2, which is 1. P and q. 3, I guess it comes out to be s, which is your 2. And 4, I guess it comes out to be, or I guess, q, which is 1 again. So I guess our correct answer for this question will be option number B. That's it. The correct answer for this question is our option number B. This was a good question on fundamental trigonometric concepts and a little bit of limits here and there also in the first two, and LCD also in the third. So generally a total mix up. Good question. So now I will proceed on to the next question. So here's our second matrix match type question for the day, and this actually looks like a JEE advanced question. Very much similar to what came this year. Although I guess if you have done and practiced enough, this will be an easy category. But anyways, please try out the question once. I will wait for a few seconds. Okay guys, just a minute. There is a typo in this question. Okay, as you can see, I also noticed, I hadn't noticed this earlier. In the part 1 of this question, you can see these two boxes. They are actually not boxes. Like, I don't know, the question was hinting to print something else and they printed something else. Anyways, whatever. So please correct this. In part 1, after then, you have to actually calculate, instead of that 2 and whatever that box stuff, whatever it is written, please write out this. Minus 2 times log of L. Okay, please write out this. This is what actually you should find out. Minus 2 times log of L. Okay, please ignore whatever 2 box and all that is given. I don't know why they have given that. Okay, so now I guess I will start off with the question. I had waited earlier. So basically we have to first of all find f of x and g of x before proceeding with the options. So let's find out g of x first. G of x is our limit alpha tends to 0. 1 plus alpha power 1 by alpha, and this is, I'm writing this below. Okay, whole part, this is the symbol for power, tan of tan inverse x. So as you can see inside this bracket, this thing is 1 power infinity form, so let's quickly take it to that. So this becomes e power of limit alpha tends to 0, your 1 plus alpha minus 1, so alpha into 1 by alpha, and outside we have tan of tan inverse x. So this becomes 1, and tan of tan inverse x, I guess no particular range is given, so why fiddle with this? Let's put it plain simple x. So g of x comes out to be e power tan of tan inverse x, which is e power x. This is our g of x. Now for f of x we have a long expression. Let's write it down. 2 sine squared beta plus 4 cosine x plus beta sine x sine beta plus cosine of 2 times, and here also there is a mistake. It's not cosine, I'm sorry, I should have said this earlier, maybe it would have hampered your solving. This is not cosine of 2 times x plus beta. This is cosine of 2 times alpha plus beta. I don't know why all these typos in the question, but anyways. If you guys want, you can still like pause the video because this is pretty manipulative, okay? You can pause the video and try it out once because I should have said this in the starting and maybe you could have got wrong answers. This is cos of 2 alpha plus beta. You can pause the video and try out still if you want, okay? I'm doing it. So basically, if you see, this expression is actually a very familiar expression. If you guys have done your school RD Sharma rigorously, then you will notice that it contains this expression as a question, not in the like exercises. This is present in the exemplar itself, in the solved examples in your school RD Sharma, and there you will have this, I guess, prove this to be some cos to alpha or something like that. I don't remember. So I had done this back in class 11 and I remember it. So you should also remember, okay? Like these things prove that your basics also matter. Because RD Sharma trigonometry is something that you should be expert in because people don't realize, they think that trigonometry is pretty easy. But whenever, like, if you pick out one of the last examples, if you see in the exemplars of RD Sharma, the last examples present, if you try to solve them, you won't, I guess, if you are not very strong in trigonometry, then you won't ever solve them. Even I couldn't when I tried later on. It's very difficult to solve them all in one go after like opening the book after many days. So that's it. I guess now I will proceed with the question. So let's prove this thing. Okay. I guess it is cos 2 alpha or something. I don't remember properly because I had seen this question and that was the first thing that struck my mind. This looks very familiar. Anyways, I will change the page once. So let's manipulate this thing. This will become a little clumsy, but anyways, we will have a good answer at the last. So let's write this cos alpha plus beta. Here also it is cos alpha plus beta, okay? Oh my god, why did I forget all this? I'm sorry guys, I don't know how I forgot. Pretty blunder I did, but anyways. Please mend the damage control with me. So this was alpha plus beta and this also alpha plus beta. Actually x plus beta, if it is there, you won't get any answers only. And if you don't get any answer for f of x, how will you solve the question? Don't know why. Because this is official Allen question paper and I don't know why this has so many typos. But anyways. So let's write out cos alpha plus beta as cos alpha cos beta minus of sin alpha sin beta. And this is multiplied by your, I guess, this sin. Okay, this is also alpha sin beta plus cosine 2 alpha cosine 2 beta minus sin 2 alpha sin 2 beta. This is also alpha, okay? I'm sorry guys, I forgot because I'm solving this question live. I didn't like pre-solve this question or anything. I'm solving this particular question live right now. So please bear with me. So now if we try to solve, I guess what I will do is I will write this thing as 2 sine squared beta plus, okay, let's open this bracket and multiply this thing inside. So this becomes 4 sine alpha cos alpha and also sine beta cos beta. So basically what I think is, yeah, one term will actually get cancelled. Okay, let's write it out. This thing is your minus 4 times sine squared alpha sine squared beta plus this is your cosine 2 alpha cosine 2 beta minus sine 2 alpha sine 2 beta. So if you split this 4 as 2 into 2, one 2 you feed in sine alpha cos alpha and the other 2 you feed into sine beta cos beta. So this becomes sine 2 alpha sine 2 beta. And this is also the same thing in minus, so this and this get cancelled. So now what we have is 2 sine squared beta, which is, I guess I will convert this whole thing into cos. So this is 1 minus cos 2 beta and this is 4 sine square alpha sine square beta. So we will split this as 2 sine square alpha and 2 sine square beta, and also write them in terms of cos. So 1 minus cos 2 alpha and 1 minus cos 2 beta. Basically what I want to do is I want to bring this thing out only in terms of cos. Let's do that and see what comes. So this is plus cos 2 alpha cos 2 beta. Now if we manipulate this a bit, this is 1 minus cos 2 beta minus of 1 times 1 minus cos 2 beta minus cos 2 alpha plus cos 2 alpha cos 2 beta plus cos 2 alpha cos 2 beta. So plus and minus, so this and this get cancelled, and I guess minus minus plus cos 2 beta, so this and this also get cancelled. 1 minus 1, this and this also get cancelled. Minus and minus plus, so yeah, I was correct. This is cos 2 alpha. So our f of x is basically cos 2 alpha. And once again, sorry for all the inconvenience caused in this particular part. Please correct as I corrected. So now I guess we are ready to move on to the options. So let's write this down once. So basically what we have in our hands right now is f of x, which we found to be cos 2x, and our g of x, which we found to be as e power x. I guess I wrote it as cos 2 alpha there. Okay, it's not cos 2 alpha, it's cos 2 x. So now we can move on to the options. I guess our first option, okay, I will check once. So here we have our first option as limit x tends to 0 f of x powered 1 by x square. Let's do that. I guess this will look, this is looking like e power 1 power infinity. Anyways, let's do. So first we have limit x is tending to 0 f of x powered 1 by x square, which is your limit x tending to 0 cosine 2x power 1 by x square. So now what we can do is, I guess this is 1 power infinity, so e power limit x tends to 0. This will come as cos 2x minus 1, but I will pull out a minus because there is nothing for cos 2x minus 1, but there is something for 1 minus cos 2x. So pulling out a minus, this becomes 1 minus cos 2x and divided by x square. So this entire thing, I guess it goes on to your 2. So this thing becomes e power minus 2. So now what we had was, I guess 2 minus 2, sorry, log of this thing was L, right? So minus 2 log L. So this thing is minus 2 log of e power minus 2, which comes out to be 4. This was our, I guess, option number 1 or A. I will check once what it was written. Yeah, they were written as 1, 2, 3. So I will write 1. So yeah, this was basically our option number 1, verified and checked. So in our option number 2, we had limit x tends to 0 g of x minus f of x divided by 2x. So this thing becomes limit x tends to 0. G of x is your e power x minus cosine 2x divided by 2x. Now cos 0 is 1, e power 0 is 1, so we have 0 by 0 form. So without thinking, let's apply directly the L'Hopital's rule. So limit x tends to 0, this becomes e power x on differentiating, and this thing I guess cos 2x on differentiating we will get plus 2 sine 2x, and in the denominator we have only 2. So e power 0 is 1, sine 0 is 0, so this comes out to be half. Pretty easy. And now for our option number 3. I will look at option number 3 once, I don't remember what it was. So basically our option 3 says that x is tending to minus infinity to 0, so number of integers in the range of h of x equal to 1 plus g of x. And in option number 4 we have the number of solutions for the equation, so graph also included. Okay, so okay, and the range is given 0 to 3. Okay, understood. Let's do this. So basically our, let's say h of x, it was, I guess it was, let it be e power x plus 1, and and f of x is ranging from minus infinity to 0. So if we put that, I guess h of x will range from, for minus infinity, okay, this will range from 1 to 2. Yeah, e power minus infinity, yeah, it's okay. So they said that we have to find out the number of integers, I guess, right? So 1 to 2, so only one integer. Only one integer is possible. This was too simple. Okay, anyways. Moving to option number 4, where we had f of x equal to half and we had to calculate the number of solutions. So basically cos 2x is given as half. So let's try out and draw an approximate curve for this. So it's cos 2x, I guess. The nature of the graph will be obviously same. Only the, I guess, widths will somewhat, I guess, differ. So this thing is 0. I guess if we try to find 2 will be somewhere here, and this thing is not exactly 4. I guess 4 will be here somewhat because it's cos 2x, right? So for cos x it is 0 at x equal to pi by 2. So here it will be 0 at, I guess, x equal to pi. Not pi. This thing is, I guess, not pi. Just a minute, I will plot this properly. Okay guys, I did a silly mistake. This is not pi actually, this is pi by 4. Because cos 2x means if it was passing at pi by 2, it is actually squeezed 2 units. If you remember graph transformation. So if this was your pi by 2 for pi by 4, so for pi this will be pi by 2 and so on. Anyways, approximately this is your 4. And we had 3 also. So because the boundary was, I guess, given from 0 to 3, right? Write it here, 0 to 3. So pi by 2 is somewhat here. So 3 will be somewhere here, I guess. Not exactly the midpoint for this, but yeah, peak. No, I should not say midpoint, I should say peak of the curve. But somewhere along here. This is the graph, and now fx equal to half. So this comes like this. So as you can see, here is one solution, here is two solution. So this thing will have two solutions. And this is your curve of cos 2x. And as I think you guys understood or not, I don't know, but I actually solved this question live right now. Okay, like I couldn't do this question before, so I solved this question live. But yeah, it was pretty simple because I've solved it live, so I can say this was pretty simple. Only like in that part where I messed up with all the x and alphas, except that it was pretty simple. So now I will look into like which option is correct. So I guess our 1 will come out as S, 2 has come out as P, and I guess 3 has come out as 2, right? Hx equal to 1 plus gx, yeah. So 3, I guess it will come out to be Q. Okay, not 2, I'm sorry. 3 is not 2, 3 is 1 solution. There was one integer, so 3 is Q. And for 4, it is 2, R. So S, P, Q, R. So option A is your correct option for this. This was a good question, like lots of manipulation and exactly what JEE Advanced wants you to do. So anyways, now I will proceed to the next question. So here's our next question for the day, and this is the third matrix type question, and these are entirely 4 different questions. So I will hope you guys can try it out. So I will wait for a few seconds. Okay, so I'm starting off. So basically, let's look at the first part. In part number 1, we have a straight line with negative slope passing through 1, 4 that meets the coordinate axis at A and B. So we have to find out the minimum length of OA plus OB. So let's do one thing. Let's take the equation of this line in terms of point and slope form. So y minus 4 and I'm taking the slope to be not m, I'm taking it to be minus tan theta. Okay, negative because we will be calculating theta from the positive side itself. I mean, we are not taking theta to be negative. We are actually taking theta to be negative. Okay, not taking is wrong. We are actually taking theta to be negative. Like if you observe, I will try to show you with the diagram. If you see this particular thing, theta here is negative, or if you take it from this side, right? So basically what I did was I just took minus tan theta. Or if you ask my purpose of taking minus tan theta, that why I didn't take plus tan theta, what harm was there? This is because it would make my simplification easier. Basic type of conclusion that I could give you. Anyways, let's proceed. This is your x minus 1. So if we try to find out, say, OA and OB, for OA we will put y, I guess, as 0. So this will become your 1 plus 4 cot theta. Similarly for OB we will put x as 0, so it becomes, I guess, 4 plus tan theta. And now we have to find out minimum value of OA plus OB, which is your 5 plus 4 cot theta plus tan theta. Now there is also like a way, I don't remember actually, I have not done using that process, I did using this. There is actually some sort of construction, like you take the line and you take a point on above that line and you reflect that from the line. Some sort of a process is also there. So although I have not done it, but if you guys know that, you can also follow that. Okay, I don't exactly remember if this is applicable here or not, but I have done this using cot theta tan theta because it was taking less time. Anyways, let's proceed. So this thing will actually become greater than equal to, I'm writing it all together, AP greater than equal to GP, and added 5 on both sides. So 5 plus 2 root under 4 cot theta plus, sorry, tan theta. Basically, please don't confuse like why did I add 5 and not multiply this with 2. I took 4 cot theta plus tan theta as a separate expression. I did AM greater than equal to GM. So 4 cot theta plus tan theta came to be greater than equal to 2 root under 4 cot theta tan theta. And after this only I added 5 on both sides, not before that. Okay, please don't confuse. So this thing cot theta tan theta becomes 1, 2 to the is 4. So this thing becomes greater than equals to 5 plus 4, 9. Which is I guess S. Okay, this is done. So moving on to part 2. If the point P is symmetric to the point Q4, minus 1 with respect to the bisector of the first quadrant, then we need to find out the length of PQ. So basically this is nothing but reflection. They have like messed up with the language of the question. So if we reflect P4, minus 1 across the line mirror y equal to x, we will get the point Q as 1, minus 4. So we have to find out PQ. Basically, with respect to the bisector of the first quadrant is y equal to x. So that is what they meant, right? So now we can find PQ using distance formula. 4 minus, I guess this is 1, minus 4, right? Just a minute. Okay, guys, I guess this is minus 1, minus 4. Yeah, I made a mistake. Y equal to x, right? Yeah, this is minus 1, minus 4. So this thing actually becomes 4 plus 1 squared plus of minus 1 minus 4 squared. So root 25 plus 25, 50, which is 5 root 2. I guess it is option P. So basically point P and option P. Coincidence. Anyways, let's move on to part 3. So basically our part 3 reads something very tedious. On the portion of the straight line x plus y equal to 2 between the axes, a square is constructed from the origin with this portion as one of its sides. So if t denotes the perpendicular distance of a side of this square from the origin, then the maximum value of d is. So they have kind of messed with the language. Okay, let's do this step by step. I will try to draw a rough diagram. So here's the rough diagram for this, and this is your line x plus y equal to 2. Basically, this is nothing, pretty easy, just you have to draw the diagram and the question is done. So they have said that we have to find out d, the perpendicular distance of a side of the square from the origin, then the maximum value of d. So basically these two sides we obviously will not take, so maximum will be when we take this side, right? This. I have named it as dp. So for that, we already know the side of the square. This is x plus y equal to 2. So calculating the y-intercept and the x-intercept, we get them as 2 and 2 both. So this thing AB, one side becomes 2 root 2. So all the sides are 2 root 2. So basically this also is 2 root 2. And now we have to find this distance OC, for which we can calculate by perpendicular distance from a line. So this becomes x plus y equal to 2. So 2 divided by root 2, which is root 2. So your OC plus, if we take this, say this point we take as some f. So your final maximum distance d is equivalent to OF, which is equal to, I guess, OC plus CF, which is your 2 root 2 plus root 2. So 3 root 2. And I guess this thing, I will check in the options. What is this? So this thing was our option number Q. So let's now proceed to the final part where we have a parametric equation. So first I will write this down. They have given x equal to 4 plus lambda root 2 and y equal to minus 1 plus lambda root 2. I will bring the page down now. So we have to find out the y-intercept from this, and this is pretty simple because as we know x is equal to some x1 plus r, or you can say r cos theta, and y is some y1 plus r sin theta. So basically if we look at it, this x1 y1 is actually the point lying on the line, which we automatically get as from comparing as 4 comma minus 1, and because cos theta and sin theta are both root 2, so theta is pi by 4, therefore our slope tan theta becomes equal to 1. So now we can easily find this is y minus y1 equivalent to 1 times x minus 4. So we get x, I guess, plus y as 5. Just a minute. Okay, this was not x plus y, x minus y. Yeah, x minus y equal to 5. So plain simple, we have to find out y-intercept, which comes out to be 5. Pretty simple. Actually, this question was very simple. Now let's look at the options once and verify. So I looked at the options and y-intercept is in option R. So basically, if we now try to find out the final answer, I will do it for you. This actually comes out to be B. Your final answer for this paragraph type question. So this was also a good question. Like pretty simple if you know parametric and all, completely based on straight lines. That is the main part. So a complete question on straight lines, which is good practice. So I guess I will now proceed to the final question for today. So here is the final question for today. And this is a very good question on planes. So like they have punched all the concepts we use in straight lines into planes, right? You can see that PA plus PB minimum, maximum, all not maximum, but PA plus PB minimum, all those things are present. So you can try out the question. I will wait for a few seconds for you to pause the video and try. Okay, so I'm starting off now. So basically we have pi. Pi is basically the plane which is parallel to y-axis and containing the points 1, 0, 1 and 3, 2, minus 1. So because it's parallel to y-axis, basically that means that the coefficient is 0 for y. So this becomes alpha x plus beta z plus 1 equals to 0. So basically now what we can do is we can put these 2 points 1, 0 and minus 1 and 3, 2 and minus 1. So if we put this comes out to be, I guess, alpha plus beta plus 1, so minus 1, and 3 alpha plus 2 beta equivalent to, okay, not 2 beta, sorry, This is your minus beta equivalent to -1. So if we add them up, we get alpha as alpha, I guess, as just a minute. Okay, so guys, there was a little bit of blunder here. Basically, I didn't notice +1 was not given. I don't know why I wrote this, but please ignore this. I am resolving it again. So basically what I will do is, actually we don't know about what constant is here. I don't know why I wrote this as 1 out of the blue, but anyways, sorry for that. So in our first option, the equation of the plane pi equal to 0 is given as x plus ay plus bz. So basically our coefficient of x is given as 1. So that's what we will actually do here. Okay. I'm writing this as x plus ay plus bz equals c. And now we don't have to worry about a. A will be already 0, right? Because it's parallel to y-axis. So x plus bz equal to c is our actual equation that we need to solve. So now if we put the point 1, 0, 1, we actually get 1 plus b equal to c, the first equation. And now if we put 3, 2 and minus 1, we will again get 3 minus b, I guess, equal to c. Now we can add these two. So c comes out to be 2, and if c comes out to be 2, b comes out to be 1. I guess this is it. C is 1 plus b 2, yeah. So our final equation comes out to be x plus z equal to 2. This is the equation of pi, the plane. I really messed up in the beginning. I don't know why, but anyways. So we have to find out modulus of a plus b plus c. So a is 0, b is 1 and c is 2. So this answer becomes 3, which is your R. So let's move on to the next part. So in the second part, we have to find out, second and third parts are basically like same condition but different calculations. We have to find out PA plus PB minimum value. This is what we were required to find. So let's do one thing. I will try to reflect A dash on this particular plane and see what happens. So what I will do is I'm leaving the reflection part to you guys, okay? Because like I will show you the process anyways. Here's the plane. There's not much calculation, so I intended to leave it. Here is the plane, here is the point A, or I will try to draw a diagram only. Just a minute. I will draw a diagram only rough so that you can understand. This is your plane pi, which is x plus z equals to 2. And if we have the point say A here, this thing is your 4, 0, 0. Now if we pass it through this plane, this is say your reflected point A dash, and here we have B, which is 6, 0, minus 2, and this goes something like this. This is your line A dash B. So I guess basically like if you try to find out the unit vector for this plane, this will become 1, 0 and 1. And if we take like, I'm leaving this part to you guys. You know how to find out the reflection, right? Like you also don't have to use unit vector. You directly have the formula, right? X minus x1 by A equals to y minus y1 by B. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So from that you can easily find out the reflection of A. I'm not wasting time in calculations because this question is going to go up pretty long. So basically we will get A dash as, I have calculated this already. This is 2, 0 and minus 2. I'm writing it here. Or maybe I will use a different ink, otherwise you will get confused. So this thing is 2, 0 and minus 2. We have found this out, okay? So now what we will do is, okay, this is just the point, and now we will write down the equation for A dash B. So our equation for A dash B will become R vector equivalent to this point, say B, we take it as 6, 0, minus 2, plus some lambda times the unit vector, which is 6 minus 2, 4, 0 minus 0, 0, and minus 2 minus 2, minus 2 minus of minus 2, which is also 0. So this is the equation for A dash B. Now if we have to find point P, Basically, if you guys know about Fermat's principle, this is like applying Fermat's principle in planes. Although there is nothing officially, whatever, like nothing officially exists like that in planes, but just you can consider it like that. I'm applying Fermat's principle in planes. So if we want to find out P, we have to like first let's find out the general point. This is 6 plus 4 lambda, and this thing is 0, and this thing is minus 2. So 6 plus 4 lambda plus 0 minus 2. This has to be equal to 2. Basically what I did was I took the dot with this thing, right? Or you can like write it separately as a step here. I will write that 6 plus 4 lambda 0 minus 2 dot with 1 0 1. This has to be equal to 2. Because if it satisfies this plane correctly, then only we will get the minimum value of the expression, that is we will get P. So now let's calculate this. This is your minus 2, so that side I guess this becomes plus 2, and minus 6 plus 2 on the RHS is minus 4. Okay, it's not minus 4, just a minute. 4, okay, it's not minus 4. 4 lambda is your 2 plus 2, 4 minus 6, sorry. So lambda is your minus half. So P, we can immediately get P. This becomes minus 6 minus 2, I guess, which is 4. This is 0, and this becomes minus 2. This is our point P. And I guess P was given as x naught, y naught, z naught. So we had to find out, I guess, two values. One is your mod of 4x naught plus y naught plus z naught, which comes out to be 16 plus 0 minus 2, which is cannot 2. This is 2z naught. It was 2z naught, so 4. And this is your 12. 16 minus 4, 12. And another we had to only find out mod x naught, y naught plus z naught. X naught plus y naught plus z naught. So 4 minus 2, this becomes 2. This is for option B and C altogether, okay? Like same thing actually. So that's it for option B and C. Now let's, I guess, move on to option number D and see what is there. So option D says that if the reflection of the line AB in the plane pi equal to 0 is x minus 2 by 1 equal to y minus alpha by 0 equal to z plus beta by minus 1, then alpha part 4 plus beta part 4 we have to find. So basically reflection of the line AB in the plane pi equal to 0 is referring to reflection of any general point on the line AB on in this plane pi equal to 0. So what we will do is we will simply say any point we can take. For example, we have a dash ready with us, so we can take a dash only, because a dash will obviously lie on this expression for the reflection, right? Because a is reflected on plane pi equal to 0, and then we get a dash. So basically if we satisfy a dash on this equation, it will satisfy. So let's do that quickly. So just for we are like solving option D, and just for a reminder, a dash was 2 0 and minus 2. So a dash will lie on your this thing, or rather we can say satisfy, better to say satisfy, and this thing will become x minus 2 by 1 as it was given equals to y minus alpha by 0 is equal to your z plus beta by 1. Now if we put this becomes 2 minus 2 by 1 equals to 0 minus alpha by 0 equal to minus 2 plus beta by 1. So alpha becomes 0, beta becomes 2. So your alpha part 4 plus beta part 4 becomes 2 power 4, 16. So I guess the correct answer for this question, we'll just match it and see. So the correct answer for this question is your option number C. Right? I matched it and saw. So this is it for this question. This was a good question on planes. And sorry for messing up in the starting. I don't know why I did that. Anyways. So this was the final question for today, guys. I have more questions, but I will discuss in the next videos. So if you have any doubts here, you can obviously ask me. And for that question, I told you that to mod n sine theta question, I have pasted the link of the video with the timestamp in the description, so you can directly go and watch the solution there. And that's it for today, guys. If you have any recommendations, please write out to me in the comment section. And if you liked my video, do like, share and subscribe surely. And thanks for watching.